The New York Knicks just got sneaky good news. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul. This is Big Apple Sports. Before we get going, do two things for me. First, give me your Knicks predictions for the season. Breakout stars, who's going to be their best player, what's their record going to be, how far are they going to go in the playoffs. I always like talking basketball with fellow NBA fans. And then two, just take a quick second, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's going to be a fun Knicks season, and I got a lot more Knicks content coming, so don't miss out. So I wasn't planning on doing a Knicks video today, but then out of left field, we see that Malcolm Brogdon has retired after 9 NBA seasons. And let me tell you why I think this is actually a really good thing for the Knicks. But first, my condolences if you were super hyped about him and bought a Malcolm Brogdon Knicks jersey. I'm sure you hoped for a little more time to get to wear that, so bummer for you. But the Knicks kind of had an issue with their final roster spot. And they had to decide by this Saturday at 5 p.m. They had Landry Shamet, Malcolm Brogdon, and Garrison Matthews all were battling to make the team. I think a lot of people felt like Mike Brown was going to want potentially all three of these guys, but for sure at least Shamet and Brogdon. And that would mean they would have to either trade Miles McBride, Pacome Dadier, or Tyler Kolek. And, I get it. They're trying to win a title. You want to have veterans. But I also think all three of these younger guys are super talented. And I really like what I've seen from Garrison Matthews as well. So, I think it's, coming into the preseason, you can probably find a video I put out where I talked about how I was hyped about Malcolm Brogdon, and I thought he was going to be a big addition. And he's had a very good NBA career. But as the preseason's played out, in some of these games, you've just seen in their game the other day. Let me find it here for you. Tyler Kolek went for 20 points in 23 minutes. Was plus 10 for his plus minus. Had a big time game coming off the bench. In the Knicks' very first preseason game in Abu Dhabi, you saw Garrison Matthews hit 3 big time threes coming off the bench. I think their leading scorer in this game was actually Miles McBride with 12 points. He hit a couple threes. And it's just as we've gone into the preseason, you're starting to see that I think some of these younger guys are actually going to fit what Mike Brown wants to do a little bit better. Because, yes, Malcolm Brogdon's great. He's played in the playoffs. He's a veteran. He's been a 6th man of the year. I think he won a title with the Boston Celtics. He has been around, but he's really struggled to stay healthy in recent years. The last thing you want to do is trade a guy like Tyler Kolek, who's playing really good basketball at a young age, and then Malcolm Brogdon plays 15 games, and next thing you know, he's out for the year, and you have to sign a guy on a 2-way contract to fill his spot. And then same thing with, you hate to cut Garrison Matthews, watch him go to another team, and then Brogdon's injured, and you lose out on Garrison Matthews. And then I think when you're talking about a trade for a Giannis, these younger guys have some value in a trade. Malcolm Brogdon has 0 trade value. He's, he's coming into his last year or so. If you're trying to rebuild, you're not rebuilding around Malcolm Brogdon. But for a team that doesn't have a lot of draft picks, having a first round pick who's in, I think, year 2, or a second round pick who's in year 2 and is starting to play pretty well, that actually has some real value. And so I think if the Knicks are I think if the Knicks are going to make a big time trade this year, having Dadier and Miles McBride and Tyler Kolek make a lot more sense than keeping Malcolm Brogdon. And then Another reason I think it's going to be a big deal is I think these guys all shoot better than Malcolm Brogdon, and they're younger and can play better in this up-tempo offense than Malcolm Brogdon. Like, they're not as good defensively as Brogdon is, but Mike Brown has been saying over and over again, I want to run the floor. We're going to be a fast-paced team, and we're going to shoot a boatload of threes. He said he wants 40 threes a game from this team. And frankly, I'd rather see Miles McBride and Garrison Matthews shooting from three than Malcolm Brogdon. And then for a guy who's really struggled with injury the last few years, like, I don't know that a super up-tempo offense is really a great fit for somebody who has been struggling to stay healthy. So I think this is, like, it stinks. It came out of left field. It kind of blindsided all of us. But I do think in the long run, this is going to be a positive thing for the Knicks. And then especially considering what Malcolm Brogdon has kind of been saying since he retired. I saw one quote. I'll see if I can get it pulled up here a second. But he had mentioned that the desire just wasn't there for him. Yeah, I got it right here. So yeah, right here, a tweet said he was going to make the Knicks' final roster, said he was expecting to be an impact rotation player, but a career in the NBA took a toll physically and mentally, and I heard that it dawned on him in camp that some of the desire/hunger was lost. So, like, I mean, kudos to him for not, like, forcing his way onto a team when he's not fully bought in. I respect that a lot. But, like, the last thing you want is to cut younger players who could be good contributors for a guy who has come out there and realized, like, man, I just don't have it in me anymore. That desire, that hunger to win a championship is gone. Like, I feel like this is a championship or bust season for the Knicks. So you want every single player on the team to be 100% all in, and it doesn't sound like Malcolm Brogdon was there. So kudos to him for recognizing that and retiring and knowing, like, I'm not gonna, like, this team has several guys who could make this roster. I'm not gonna take one of their spots when I'm not fully bought in. I do respect that a lot from him. And then, you know, I wish him a great retirement, a great life. We'll always remember the 2 weeks we had with Malcolm Brogdon on the Knicks. So, Knicks fans, give me your thoughts on the surprise retirement and what you think it means for the Knicks moving forward. And then give me your predictions on the season as well. And then don't forget, just like and subscribe on the way out.